You know, here on this channel, more than any other question, I get asked, when and how much are you supposed to water your garlic? It's a question with multiple right answers, creating confusion with no such thing as a universal watering schedule. In fact, I don't even water my garlic once from the time it's planted in October until maybe March or April of the following year. Hi, I'm Jeff from the Ripe Tomato Farms. Welcome to another episode of the Garden Quickie, the show where in 2 minutes or less, we get wet so you don't have to. And today's episode is all about watering your garlic. More specifically, how to determine when your garlic needs water throughout the different stages of its life cycle. Hey, time short as you know it is, so let's dive in. When garlic gets planted as individual dry cloves, either in the fall in the case of hardneck or in the spring in the case of softneck, it's the surrounding moisture in the soil that activates those roots to start sprouting. And it happens pretty much immediately within a few days tops. To truly get the biggest and best bulbs, that moisture needs to be present throughout the garlic's entire life cycle, which can sometimes be upwards of 9+ months. The amount and frequency of your garlic watering is therefore dictated by two things, your soil type and your climate. Let's look at both. Soils live on a spectrum, from sandy ones that can't hold on to any moisture at all, to the clay ones that can't get rid of the excess. Your garlic, like most plants, likes it somewhere in between. A good garlic soil is going to drain freely, but it's also going to hold on to some moisture, negating the need to water daily. Which leads us to trying to define the right amount of water for your garlic, which I'm always hesitant to do. Generally, if you're planting your garlic in the fall and you get a wet or snowy winter, you likely don't have to water until spring. If, however, you're planting in a warm climate or your winters are particularly dry, well, then you need to water immediately after planting to stimulate those roots to start growing. If you're the type of person that needs hard numbers, however, these are the general guidelines that I suggest, keeping in mind there's no such thing as a universal watering schedule. As a rule, sandy soils get 2 inches of water per week, barring any precipitation. Clay ones, much less at that, at 1/2 to 1 inch. Now, the amount and type of organic matter within your soil is also going to have an effect on moisture retention. So, these rules are almost impossible to set in stone, as there's a million different permutations to consider when you're dealing with soil type as well as climate. In the end, be diligent but thoughtful. Keep an eye on that moisture and use a moisture meter if you have to. Remember, garlic is typically grown right at the surface. So if you're ever curious about where the moisture level is at in your soil, it's not too difficult to check. Just like it's not too difficult to check out the next episode of the Garden Quickie. Thanks for watching, guys. And hey, if Garden Quickies are your thing, make sure to subscribe and click on this playlist here as we explore and solve more growing issues in 2 minutes or less.